Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I hope you all are very excited for all the insightful conversations that are going to happen on this stage this evening. And I am very excited. Thank you to all the panelists for joining us here today. And I'm very excited because this is our first panel, for this evening. And we are starting with AI. And in this panel, we'll be talking about how PR and corporate communication is embracing AI and how AI is going to shape the future of PR and Corpcom. So first of all, I'll introduce my panelists. So we have Akanksha Jain with us. She's a PR and corporate communication leader. We are also joined by Apeksha Mishra, head of corporate communications and content at Policy Bazaar. We have Aman Dhall with us. He's founder of CommsCredible, and we also have Himank, Tripathi, CCO and spokesperson at Baazi Games. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Anubha Pandey. I am the chief editor of Hardwire. We are an emerging publication covering tech and automobile. So before we start this discussion, I would like to know from you guys, do you guys use AI in your day-to-day lives other than your work? Are you guys sharing your problems with ChatGPT, or is it just me?
So, hi everybody. So I'm not really using AI too much. If you look at it from a day-to-day life, yes, maybe to look for something interesting in terms of trends. Or something interesting that I find, if I want to read more about it, I think I go on ChatGPT to just get some more information, but beyond that, not really spending more time on it.
Likewise, I would say on a day-to-day basis, in fact, when I have to review stuff, I make sure that I'm checking whether things are not copied or something of that sort. But on a daily basis, I think not as much. I read a lot, so papers, magazines, all hard copies, so much into that sort of a thing, but not using AI to, on a daily basis.
Now being a founder and entrepreneur, these days I'm dealing with a lot more humans. However, having said that, since I do get involved in a lot of operations still, I'm flirting a lot with AI. I'm trying to see if it can become a family. So yeah, I think on an experimental mode right now.
What about you, Himank?
I think there is not even a single day where I don't use AI extensively. And I'll tell you why I do it. It's not just to figure out and create some content and all. Uske to hum expert hai. But I feel that the way we say greenwashing, I think there is another concept I believe is called AI washing, where we try to exaggerate too much. We try to claim something which we don't even know and understand. And within my company, I need to be careful in terms of the communication that we do. So I keep an eye on that. I have now no problem in terms of my team is using, say marketing team, trying to use AI to create some interesting content. But it has to be interesting. Can't be just a copy-paste thing. And there is a very strong philosophy that I believe, which is called garbage in, garbage out. So more than using it, I try to figure out what my team is doing in a right way or not. You need to brief AI properly to get something really interesting. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Yeah? Basic grammar or ये सब check करने के लिए you don't need AI and all. So that way I use AI extensively, and I think it's working.
I would like to add, nowadays I think in firms like bigger firms, if you use the advanced version of AI, it helps you to craft emails, right? On a day-to-day basis, you need to draft so many emails to so many people. So instead of sitting and typing it out, if you put in the right feed, like you said, right information, you just have a mail that you can send and save time. So with that, yes, you do use AI at work.
Fair enough. Thank you, all of you, for this lovely answers. Apeksha, I would like to start with you. Like any other services, financial services are also going digital these days. So how can AI help make communication clearer and more responsible, especially when we are talking about subjects like financial literacy and insurance?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, insurance is a very complex product, right? And there's a lot of trust deficit in the category itself. So more so when in such a category, you need a lot of personalization in all the communications that you're doing to the end consumer, to your readers, and everyone. So we at Policy Bazaar have a very simple and a powerful concept of people come first, a customer first approach. So at our end, the whole motive is to, have a transparent communication to the customer and simplify the complex product so that they were able to understand, so that they are able to, know what is best for them. And how can this be done? Definitely AI and tech is at the helm of it. I'll give you an example. For example, ASR, automated speech recognition. At our end, what we do is we utilize that to transcribe all the calls that are happening with the customers, the agents, the advisors that are doing those calls. Once those calls are transcribed, we use ASR to tap the sentiment, the intent, and the performance metrics, of that call. And once that is captured through tech, we know very well that what kind of a customized product or an offering or a service should be made to that particular customer. Because in insurance, one size fits all approach doesn't fit at all, right? So that's how we use tech and AI to make sure that it is very customized, personalized, and the communication is transparent, engaging with the customer. One more example that I would like to give you is that we also operate in, I think, 13 to 15 languages, where regional language models are, available, which we take use of a lot, because they help us in capturing, again, like I said, the sentiment, intent of the conversation. And then in turn, we are able to offer the customer or the end consumer a very good product. And the comms part in insurance is very inclined to the business part. So all our communication, all our business decisions are taken keeping the customer in mind. So a comms person in insurance needs to know the products, the health products, the life insurance term products, end to end. It cannot be just that you are faffing with just content and you don't know the product in detail. So I think tech and AI help us simplify this, and as we are progressing, I think obviously AI cannot replace humans as yet, but
thank God for that.
Yes, we are making good use of AI to sketch out a model sort of thing, and then we can fill in a lot of emotion and all of inside it. But yeah.
Fair enough. That was really interesting. Now moving on to Akanksha, with the number of years of experience that you have in corporate communication across various industries, I would like to know, how can you see AI changing the way PR handles reputational issues with industries that has a lot of rules and regulations?
So that's a very good question, and I think AI comes really handy when it comes to reputational challenges, in simple words, small or bigger crises that might come your way. And we've used it extensively in my last organization when I was working at BharatPe. So essentially when there is a crisis, nowadays the crisis starts with the post on X. So how do you keep track? You can't have like 100 people sitting and just looking at X all the time, So the AI tools and platforms helps you to get a real-time updates. We were using tools that could give us a real-time update of what is happening. Is there a surge in terms of something about the brand? Is there some negative conversations happening? Which gives us enough time to plan before it goes all out, and you don't have time to really think through it. And also a lot of times we were able to curtail the crisis well in advance. And when also with using AI, we could really get a sense of what is coming our way. So when you do scenario planning in terms of crisis, AI helps you to kind of just think through a lot more in terms of scenarios that could come your way, and hence you can plan your response a little better. Of course, it can't predict everything, and neither can humans, but still. The third and most important thing is to understand the sentiment. So I put out a response, I use the digital channels to put out a response. But is it really working for me? So we could track that very minutely across channels, across social media channels, across media channels, to the do the lowest level possible to get a sense of what is working for us on a day-to-day basis when there is a crisis, and also in the long term. Suppose I do something for a month or a week or say a quarter, is it really helping my brand bounce back and get its reputation back? So all these AI tools really help, and I think they make our life much easier than the times when I remember when I handled the crisis for Nokia, and we used to manually sit and track TV channels and manually make Excel sheets and trackers to keep a track of what is the sentiment on ground. So I think it really is a great tool.
Yeah. So what I understand, that AI can't help to anticipate any crisis that's coming, but it can help you to handle that.
No, it can also help you anticipate a lot of them.
Okay. Thank you. Now moving on to Aman. I would like to know from you that you yourself run your own agency, and what kind of AI tools that you guys are using in your day-to-day life to give clients better statistics and to make your work life easier.
See, first thing we need to understand, at least in our industry, is what we are talking about AI is actually analytics. We were always using these tools. They've just become more smarter. They've just become more instructive. So it was always, we were kind of looking at the analytics piece and looking at something, can it become a crisis? It was happening before as well. It is just that the tools have become more smarter. And we are using, again, the same tools which are being kind of offered by a lot of measurement agencies. Where does our role come in is, we have got smarter individuals who can analyze it better, depending upon what the client priority is, depending upon what the crisis is. For a X, it could be a crisis. For a Y, it could be a normal thing. So all that judgment can't be done by even a simple measurement agency or even an AI. You need a human to analyze the same. Just to give you an example, what is happening? I think what has started to happen, all these tools have become quicker. Earlier, I would tell a measurement agency to get me some data, and they would take a couple of hours to a day, depending upon the urgency of the matter. Now what is happening is, I'm just putting an instruction in, it's become more DIY, that is it. So a lot of rebranding has started happening around AI because that's a flavor of the season. But truly artificial intelligence taking over our profession has not yet happened. But yes, tools have become much more smarter. We have become more quick. So I would say it is more quick and speedy intelligence is what we are actually, being helped with as decision makers.
Okay. Aman, would you also like to give some AI tools that you are using just for suggestions for our audience?
I'm using the same set which I think everyone is using.
No secrets
I'm
there.
using a lot of these analytics agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Be it Concept BIU, be it Meltwater, be it Wiziki. It really depends on the client requirement, and then we make the suggestion. It also comes down to at times a budget also. So it depends on a lot of factors. However, having said that, for us, we are using a mixture of things. We are always trying to go forward in our thinking, in our thought process, in the way we are shaping us. So we are investing in a lot of things, but most importantly, we are investing in humans. Tools, there are people, smarter people who are making them. Humans, we can create a factory who are smarter to manage them.
So AI is not that smart as of now.
See, it depends on the individual who is using it.
Fair
It can
enough.
make AI smarter.
Yeah.
It can make it dumber.
Fair enough. Now moving on to Himank. You are in the gaming industry, and gaming industry has has most tech savvy audience and consumers and customers. So in gaming, how do you see AI can help communication teams to keep up with the changing audience and their expectation across different niches of games?
See, as I said earlier, that this idea of AI washing, I think tracking that really helps me. Because if there is a content which is garbage in, then I'm going to get garbage out, and I'm going to show it to my audience, which is not going to be interesting or differentiating factor for me. So that's one thing that I'll take care of. Another thing is, I don't like the idea of anything where you overdo it. I don't think we have reached a stage where it is human versus AI, or as I say, AI versus AI, which is artificial intelligence versus asli intelligence. हम अभी स्टेज पे आए नहीं हैं.
Nice wordplay.
Yeah, so no need to worry that much. It's just a complementary tool that we should use it. Yeah, as Aman was saying, that it just fast tracks your whole process. Now earlier I was imagining a situation where if I have, say, a crisis playbook that I have to create, I have to have a discussion with the team member to create a draft, the person will take some time and then create something. Here I can feed the same information as detailed as possible, say as simple as chat GPT. By the way, India सबसे ज़्यादा chat GPT use करता है भाई पूरी दुनिया में. I think 45% of that usage comes from India, out of which 65% तो YouTube बना रहे. So I'm trying to figure out कि YouTube में बना क्या रहे हैं, किस तरह का content है, so that we can figure it out. But this is what we try to do it. Now I just feed in the information to as simple as chat GPT 4.0 and I can get that thing very quickly. Now what I need to do is spend some time reading it. क्या वो language सही है? The way recently there was this news where I think couple of students in America और कहीं जगह के Indian ही थे, they got this response from Gemini saying that all humans are rubbish and garbage and they should die. I'm not making this up. आप search कर लें.
Yes, it's legit.
So ऐसे tool का इस्तेमाल, I don't know how much you can do it, and I don't really get it. The major difference between the current AI that we all use versus what we used to do 6 years ago. And I'll give you an example. I remember buying Alexa Echo. अब वो format change हो गया, Echo अलग तरह से आने लग गया. But Echo used to do the same thing even now. 6 साल पहले भाई. वही सवाल, वही जवाब, उसी तरह के answers, and you can do shopping, you can do all of this thing. तो मेरे लिए कोई major change नहीं है. What I feel is that for us, चाहे वो marccom हो, contentcom हो, या copcom हो, we need to first understand what we really mean by AI. I don't think major problem is in PR is I don't think we are actually spending time to understand AI. I'm saying generally. अगर मैं भी किसी से पूछ लूँ, हाथ खड़ा कर दो, बता दो कितने लोग AI सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं, I don't think 10 भी खड़े होंगे यहाँ पे. तो अभी हम उस स्टेज पे हैं. And in gaming, especially RMG, poker Baazi, by the way, is the biggest when it comes to poker. And recently we have just been officially announced as a mind sport, just like chess and e-sport. So उसमें AI की intervention की ज़रूरत अभी है, नहीं है, we are still in that stage. So वो कहते हैं ना baby steps, हम लोग वो ले रहे हैं. And there is no what you call it, घबराने की या shy होने की बात नहीं है. We are still in a stage to figure it out. मुझे नहीं लगता comms को इतनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, heavily relying on AI, unless until आप certified expert बन जाओ. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, correctly. Very interesting take.
I'll just add here.
Yes, sure.
I think the future of communications is going to be all-rounders. With tools at our disposal, you just can't be a one-sided player. Like what is happening in cricket, you are getting a lot of all-rounders who need to contribute, till you are playing at like even at number 9 or 10. Same is going to happen with comms. You will need to have mastery in at least 2 to 3 areas. Otherwise, you won't survive. So because of these tools, there's a lot more productivity that will come in. That's going to happen.
So just to add, I think these tools will make you smarter. But what comms people will face as a challenge, which I already see in, especially in startups, is that, a lot of leaders may come to you and say that, I could just write it on ChatGPT and it looks much fancier. And you have to come in, you have to go back and explain them why, you have to have a certain character to the kind of content you post, because otherwise my biggest fear is everybody starts putting it from using ChatGPT or any of these tools, and all the LinkedIn posts will look just the same. So I think that's a challenge. We have to tell them that we are building it in line with your personality, your character, and it's important that it's not something that has very quirky language which may not just go with your personality.
Yeah. So Akanksha, I would like to know from you, like industry is adopting AI for monitoring and automation purpose. So how do you make sure that the responses that are being given out there still have that human touch and that feeling of personalization?
So exactly, I think I was trying to touch upon that. So it's important to understand what is the personality of the person and try, you get the information from AI. AI may be great to get information, but again, double check because AI is proven to hallucinate. So double check the numbers, double check the data, but go back and write it in the way that suits the personality of the person. It shouldn't be if the person goes out and speaks at a forum, he's totally different versus the person on LinkedIn. So you have to try and humanize the content in line with the person. Also, you have to create a balance so that there are cultural sensitivities. AI will not have emotions in it, it just writes random stuff in my view. So you have to get the cultural sensitivities in there, you have to get that sense, the empathy in there when you write that content as a comms professional. Use this as an aid, use this as also, AI also as an aid to create content or do work that could be very, very manual or very automated in nature, and put your time into doing more strategic work. I think that's how things will look better for comms professionals. Also leverage it to manage crisis better and understand the entire what is happening across the world with the digital channels and social channels taking center stage in any communication strategy.
Fair enough. Now moving on to Apeksha, like this, I'm very interested to know this answer. You also take care of the content at Policy Bazaar. So how do you use AI to make your content more relatable, but at the same time maintaining that human touch and personalization to it?
Yeah, so frankly speaking, she mentioned, we should not make use of AI to create content because, like I said, AI can help us to, tell us that maybe we are getting a lot of queries on a particular subject matter, for example, term insurance for women homemakers, be one part. But now it is up to us to think of a campaign, to craft a campaign, to put some life and emotion into the campaign and, put it out there in a certain way that answers the queries of all, right? So that storytelling part we will have to build. AI can maybe, give us a model or just an outline skeleton, direct us, help us in improving efficiency, maybe it can do a few things like transcribing and all of that. But in terms of the ideation, creativity, we need to put it our heart and soul to it. So if we want to convey the right brand message to the end customer, you have to think of content that touches everyone's heart, that people can relate to. I don't think AI can do that. So we don't use AI to create content. We make sure that we are creating content for the right audience and the right time. For example, if there's a high surge in term insurance being bought by millennials, we'll make use of those leads that we get through AI, tracking, and make sure, to narrate more stories around that. Like I said, for the homemaker part, so narrate more stories around that so that it addresses that particular segment. I don't think any AI can help create content that touches everyone's heart.
It's still not there.
It won't at all.
On the similar lines, I would like to know from Aman, like many PR professionals and PR industries using AI for campaigns and all. So how do you keep the messaging real and not robotic?
I don't think AI can do campaign planning. You need a human touch. You need that human intervention to bring fresh ideas to the play. Yes, it can refine a bit. It can help you with some kind of, buzzers or, some kind of ideas, but it just can't do the job. Coming to content creation, and I was talking to a lot of people who are running content agencies. Their work has got kind of shelled by half, or even, some of them shut down the shop. What's going to happen is a lot of SEO generating content will go to AI. How smart. So you will have lesser people managing SEO content. Most of them actually are being used for SEO stuffing of keywords. I think that's what AI is going to do. Coming to, say, a consumer content, you will have human touch. But yes, a lot of rewriting, or rephrasing might happen through AI. You look at a newsroom. Earlier, we used to have rewriters, specialists. So if there were 5 people in a team of Economic Times newspaper, today there are 1 or 2 only. Because AI has made things faster. So depending upon the collateral, depending upon the kind of communication, I think AI will be utilized. It's a simple, mere, I would say, a improved version of grammatic. There was one kind of grammarly, yeah. So I think that's what is happening. So how I look at the future is, I think all-rounders who can manage AI more productively, they will shine. Who know media better, who know the consumer sentiment better, who know their tools better. So those people who are master at it, they will really, really thrive through these tools.
Fair enough. So Himank has already made his stance clear on the AI in PR industry, but I would still like to know from you, like gaming is a very dynamic industry. So can you use AI to understand what gaming audience wants in future, and can you create PR strategies according to the responses that you are getting from the AI?
Of course. I think the biggest and the first early adopters of AI, if not gaming, then what else? That's how NVIDIA is building the whole legacy of what the brand is right now. I'm not against it, and that's the future. By communication की बात अलग है, but gaming के मामले में that's the future. It helps you to understand, take the feedback very quickly, generate multiple options for you to try and test it. And that is how gaming is going to thrive, according to me. Now, when it comes to communication strategy, I think whatever I get it from them, the filtration must have happened already. Now, I just need to figure out on my own how this works. On my own. Another thing that I like about AI is that it's my version versus their version. Whatever I create, say a post or a content or a quote in any format, I would like to see what is it that, a 30 baar kha kaan ka kaam, AI is doing it in versus what I've done it. Is it able to connect the kind of essence I'm trying to say it? As Apeksha mentioned, the customization, I'm writing it for ABC. Is it for universal or specific to ABC? There is a very interesting incident that happened where someone asked me to create a sort of answers for one of the person in the family, educational purposes. I said, okay, fine. I was tired and lazy also. I said, okay, fine, let me use AI and figure this out. And smartly what I did, I had like 5-6 AI options. I feeded the information, I got the answers, and then I said, ab iska ek bana do. Okay, but then I stopped and I realized, am I the only one who's going to do it? There will be other people who's going to do it, so my content will almost look very similar.
Correct.
So then I started to understand the kind of person he is, the kind of questions they are asking. I had a call with the person to understand what exactly he is looking for, and then I created the answer, और वो काम हो गया बिना AI को use किए. But it helps you to understand if there is any missing link. In strategy, as my dear friend Aman said, that आप planning नहीं बना सकते. ये fact है. But कुछ चीज़ें missing है जो आप highlight कर सकते हो. You can definitely figure this out. Human है यार. There are 10,000 things that I have to manage in a day. चाहे personal or चाहे professional, I'm not the only one who's speaking. I'm speaking on behalf of everyone. So that way, AI can really help you figure out कि भाई these are the 4 things that you've missed. But वो देखने का काम, समझने का काम तो हमारा ही है. So I think at the basic surface level, please use AI. Don't waste your time. As a मैं सबसे कहता हूँ, if in your organization, if it's not PR guy who will, or lady or PR folks who would not get the idea or become expert, तो कौन बनेगा? We are the only ones who can truly understand AI. Because PR का आधा काम तो devil's advocate का भी होता है भाई. To figure out what's wrong. To raise the voice when 10 people are saying कि भाई यही करना चाहिए, you should come up saying कि नहीं ये नहीं बनेगा. You should level up. I'll tell you another interesting thing. Poker Baazi just got interest coming from Nazara. Nazara is the only listed gaming company in India. BSE, NSE में सिर्फ वो इकलौती company है. They made a partnership where they invested 1,000 crores in Baazi games, Poker Baazi. अब जो न्यूज़ है, जो एसेंस, जो होल आइडिया निकाल के गए हैं, is basically gonna help us to fast track everything in a right way. Now with that money and the direction we are getting in, our efforts to basically figure out how much AI can help us in this whole RMG industry, that would be really interesting for us to do it. वो fast track हो जाएगा. आप समझ रहे हैं? Otherwise जैसा काम चल रहा है कॉम्स का वो वैसे ही चलता रहेगा. इनफैक्ट लॉट ऑफ मीडिया कॉल्ड मी, मुझे तो लग रहा था कि हम लोग बड़े रिएक्टिव रहेंगे, मीडिया की कॉल्स नहीं उठाएंगे. एंड आई एम सेइंग इन वेरी फ्रैंक वे, व्हेन मीडिया कॉल्ड मी अप दे सेड कि सर हमें तो हैरानी है कि आप यूनिकॉर्न अभी हो क्यों नहीं. बिकॉज द वे यू कम्युनिकेट योर ब्रांड लैंग्वेज इज़ नॉट लाइक कि भाई आप यूनिकॉर्न बनेंगे, आप यूनिकॉर्न ऑलरेडी हो गए हो. एंड इट वॉज नॉट डन बाय AI. ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स आज भी, इवन आफ्टर हैविंग सो मेनी सब्सक्रिप्शंस, मेरे को तो पता नहीं कितने सब्सक्रिप्शन AI के लेके बैठा हूँ मैं. Even now I have to chase my CMO, I have to chase my CEO, I have to chase my CTO to have that conversation to figure this out. That cannot be done by AI.
So the essence is that AI can make you more efficient but can't do your work.
And it's a boom for gaming industry.
Yeah.
But I don't think we are at the stage when I can say the same thing for communication. It really helps you to do your quick job. I think Apeksha was mentioning about organizing things, sending emails and all. Trust me, you use it and you love it. It's so easy. मुझे तो हैरानी है कि पिछले 5 सालों से मैं कितना टाइम वेस्ट करके बैठा था भाई. Now you need to just feed in, थोड़ा टाइम लगाना पड़ता है उसके साथ. But once एक बार setup हो जाए, it's very easy. Now I can level up, right?
Yeah.
I can learn some more things to basically prove my point कि भाई हाँ मैं valuable हूँ उस company में. So yeah.
Thanks for that answer. Our time is already up, but I would quickly like to know from any of you, do you think AI poses any challenge to your industry? Very brief and quick answer.
No, I don't think so.
What about you?
I don't think so. Not at all.
No, not at all. It doesn't pose any challenge. Like I mentioned, it helps you increase your efficiency while you can be at your creative best, but definitely no challenge.
The requirements of the role will evolve. That is it.
Okay. Fair enough. That was indeed a very insightful conversation for me also, and I hope it's the same for our audience as well. Thank you so much to all the panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. Thank you to our panelists.